Look at those ugly scars. Honestly, Chloe, it's a miracle any man can even look at you without throwing up. You look like a stitched up monster. My Aunt Sarah's voice echoed across the crowded backyard. My entire family fell dead silent. Over 50 guests, friends, neighbors, and my new fiancé's upper-class parents turned their heads, staring directly at my exposed shoulder and neck. I stood frozen. I am a combat medic, a decorated Army veteran who took shrapnel to the shoulder while dragging two bleeding soldiers out of an exploding Humvee in Syria. I wore those scars as a badge of honor, but right now, under the cruel, mocking glare of my own blood relatives, they felt like branding irons. "Sarah, please, stop," I whispered, my voice trembling despite my years of military discipline. "Oh, don't be so sensitive," my mother chimed in, laughing as she sipped her wine. "Sarah is just telling the truth. You ruin every family photo. It's bad enough you wasted years playing G.I. Jane instead of getting a real job, but did you have to bring those hideous marks to your own engagement party?" My sister, Emily, smirked, whispering something to my fiancé, Brandon. To my absolute horror, Brandon didn't defend me. He looked away, visibly embarrassed by my scars. My chest tightened with agonizing pain. These were the people I had bled for. I couldn't breathe. I turned on my heel and walked rapidly toward the house, needing just 5 minutes to collect myself. But before I could even reach the back door, my phone buzzed violently in my hand. It was a bank alert. Account closed. I opened my banking app. My mother and sister had somehow accessed my veteran savings account. They had drained all $45,000, money I had painstakingly saved to put a down payment on a house for me and Brandon. Instantly, another text popped up from my mother. "Since you ruined the party with your attitude, we took the money you owed us for raising you. Don't bother coming back inside. We changed the smart lock codes to the house. Your bags are on the driveway." They thought they were untouchable. They thought their sudden wealth over the past 2 years was due to my father's brilliant investments. What they didn't know, what I had kept secret to protect their pride, was that my father's business had gone bankrupt 18 months ago. I was the one paying their mortgage. I was the one paying for Emily's expensive college tuition. I signed over my military housing allowance and combat bonuses directly to their creditors to keep them from being thrown onto the street. They were living in luxury entirely on my blood money, while treating me like trash. I walked out to the driveway. Sure enough, my duffel bags were dumped by the trash cans. I grabbed my phone, my hands shaking with a mixture of grief and cold fury. Suddenly, my phone started exploding with notifications. Emily had just posted a photo of me from the party on Facebook and Instagram. The caption read, "So sad that my sister Chloe has become so mentally unstable after the military. She started a screaming fight at her own engagement party and tried to attack our mother. Please pray for her PTSD." Comments were rolling in from relatives. "Disgraceful. She's dangerous. Lock her up." Brandon had already untagged himself from all our photos. It was a coordinated, calculated execution of my reputation. Something inside me snapped. The agonizing pain turned into ice-cold military focus. The crying girl vanished. The combat medic who made split-second life-or-death decisions under enemy fire took over. They wanted a war? They had no idea who they were messing with. I picked up my phone and dialed my military lawyer. "Sir, it's Chloe. Activate the financial freeze on the properties. Revoke the power of attorney. Shut it all down. Now." As I stood by the driveway, a sleek black SUV with tinted windows slowly pulled up to the curb. The engine idled quietly. The window rolled down just an inch. I couldn't see the driver, but I could feel a heavy, authoritative gaze fixed on me. A voice from inside the vehicle spoke, deep and calm. "Sergeant Miller, your command is aware of the situation. Hold the line. The cavalry is already here." Before I could ask who it was, the window rolled up and the SUV parked quietly down the street, watching. The second confrontation. I didn't run away. I picked up my duffel bag, marched right back into that backyard, and slammed it on the main table, shattering a wine glass. The music stopped. My mother gasped. "How dare you come back here, you psycho?" Aunt Sarah stood up, sneering. "Look at it, it's throwing a tantrum. Brandon, look at the monster you're marrying. She's completely unhinged." Brandon stepped back, looking at me with disgust. "Chloe, leave. It's over. I can't be with someone this damaged." My sister, Emily, laughed out loud. "Go back to the barracks, Chloe. Nobody wants you here." "Is that how you speak to a decorated war hero?" A booming voice cut through the backyard like a thunderclap. Everyone turned. Walking into the yard was the man from the black SUV, but he wasn't alone. He was wearing an immaculate dress uniform covered in medals. It was Master Sergeant Vance, a legendary Marine commander, accompanied by 2 military police. The crowd gasped. My parents froze, their faces draining of color. Master Sergeant Vance walked straight up to me, snapped a crisp, flawless salute, and turned to the crowd. Sergeant Chloe Miller did not get those scars from playing G.I. Jane. She got them while shielding a fallen Marine from an IED blast. She saved my son's life. And while she was bleeding for this country, you people were robbing her blind. Vance slammed a thick manila folder on the table. 20 minutes ago, the United States Military JAG Corps, in coordination with federal banks, froze every single account associated with this household, Vance said with a deadly smile. My mother shrieked, instantly grabbing her phone. "What? No, that's my money." "No, ma'am." I stepped forward, looking her dead in the eye. "That was my money. The house you are standing in, the mortgage is in my name. The car Emily drives, paid for by my combat deployment checks. As of 5 minutes ago, I have legally evicted you. You have 24 hours to pack your things before the sheriff throws you out." Emily burst into tears. "Chloe, please, my tuition. I have finals next week." "Figure it out," I said coldly. My parents fell to their knees, grabbing at my jeans, weeping hysterically. "Chloe, please, we are your family. You can't do this to us. We love you." I looked down at her, feeling absolutely nothing. "You didn't love me. You loved my paycheck, and you loved using me as a doormat." I turned to Brandon, who was staring at me with wide, terrified eyes. He took a step toward me. "Chloe, babe, I didn't know." I pulled the engagement ring off my finger and dropped it into his glass of champagne. "Keep it. You can use it to help them pay rent." As the military police escorted my screaming, weeping parents out of their own backyard, the guests watched in absolute silence and shame. Nobody looked at my scars with disgust anymore. They looked at them with awe. I walked out of that house with my head held high, stepping into the black SUV with Master Sergeant Vance. I learned the hardest lesson of my life that day. Blood doesn't make you family. Respect, loyalty, and love do. Never sacrifice your dignity, your body, or your mental health to carry people who would gladly watch you bleed out if it meant they could steal your boots.